Good wrestling morning, mush puffs. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, November 13th, 2018, and it's time to get all kinds of copious about everything that happened last night on Monday Night Raw, because that's primarily what today's show is going to be. It's going to be a Monday Night Raw review, because we did not do the Raw review last night. I thought about bringing back the Copious review permanently. I was thinking about it to start it last night, and then I decided it was a bad idea because I can't do it next week. Now, I could have made an exception because it's Survivor Series week, which is one of my favorite weeks of the entire year because this has always been a really big pay-per-view for me. Don't ask me why. It just kind of is. It always has been. It's just got a special place in my heart. You know, it's just one of those events that I remember as a kid that I always loved, and I don't know, it just brings something out in me. And for whatever reason, WWE has booked this year's Survivor Series, and you could make the argument they did last year too. But they've really done a good job of making this entire weekend coming up to seem important and special. And it's anchored by this friggin' woman right here, all right? Now, look, they did not plan for this to happen. Nobody expected Becky to go to this heights, all right? Becky needed a change. Becky Lynch was in a rut. There is absolutely no question about the fact that Becky Lynch had some serious issues with her wheels spinning for a couple of years over there, it felt like, you know? It has been a long time where Becky just hasn't done anything. She makes this turn, this, you know, really dastardly, when you think about it, heel turn on Charlotte Flair. Now, here's one of the reasons why it worked the way that it did. Charlotte is not a very good face. She doesn't get very great face reactions. She gets some cheers, but people want to hate Charlotte Flair, and it's easy to want to hate Charlotte Flair. That's the point of a Flair in the first place. It's easy to hate these people, and you want to use that, but WWE doesn't leverage that. Instead, they were going for a more face-ish persona with Charlotte, and I think it's part of the reason why the Becky heel turn went the way that it did and ignited the fans in a way that it has. It's nice to see somebody just kind of get the leash taken off of her. And that's what I think a lot of fans felt the heel turn signified for Becky. This is the leash being taken off, go run and do your thing. And the argument's made right there. I mean, you look what Becky has done since that turn. You know, it looked like the WWE was going to kind of try to step on the push a little bit, but the fans were not allowing it. This is one of those special times where the fans' reaction really did affect everything. Because I thought originally that the fan interaction and the way that the fans were cheering for Becky was going to kill the entire angle. I thought the WWE would just put a bullet right in the fucking horse's head. You know, this is a championship horse, but they're going to put it down anyway because it's not the way they want. They don't want more Roman Reigns situations. They don't want these. I mean, it's okay for one person to be filling that slot. They want that. They want that one guy. They want Cena. They want Roman Reigns. But they don't want one on every friggin' area of television. They don't want one woman that's that same way. They don't want those things. It doesn't do anything good for them. So they're trying to figure out ways to keep things in somewhat of the sphere that they want it to be. So they have not backed off on Becky's heel persona at all. In fact, she's gone even a step above to where she's almost a godlike figure, where she's almost just hovering above everybody, and she's letting everybody know exactly what she feels about them and how much she has ascended to this place where she's always belonged, and she is the man. And I didn't even think of a lot of the connotations of what that even meant, especially when it's up against somebody like Ronda Rousey, who last night, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into all the aspects of Raw, what I liked, what I didn't like, and all of that. We're going to talk specifically about Ronda's promo that she cut that I loved so much. Feel it is I got to be honest, I felt it was a promo of the year candidate, which is funny because everything that Becky and Ronda has done feels like a promo of the year candidate. They've really just gone crazy. To think what Becky is doing, and if Ronda's even somewhere hanging with her, like even a little bit, if she's anywhere in this stratosphere that Becky Lynch is in right now, Ronda's in a really good space. Considering she is so early in her career, it's impressive. These two women are doing amazing things, and it's so much fun to watch. But Becky in particular is just going to this new level. What's up, PG? What's up, Christopher? And I see you guys. How you doing? She's going to this new level. And it's fun. It's like, you know what it is? She's going Super Saiyan God. That's what's happening. You know, for her to get the reactions that she did, I didn't think that we were going to get the SmackDown invasion of Raw for a second year in a row. They did do it differently than they did last year. It was only the women that attacked, so it was kind of weird to see that happen. I wasn't expecting that in that way, especially when Becky did attack Ronda, which I did not think was going to happen. I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought Ronda was going to be going to SmackDown to send a little message to Becky, but that's not what they did. Instead, they had Becky. We'll talk about the main event first. We'll just get into the main event right now. They let Becky put Ronda in that arm bar, you know, that disarm her, and really crank on it. And Ronda, one of the things that she's excelled at so much since becoming, you know, a professional wrestler, she sells really well. Her facial expressions, the way she tells stories, it's fucking amazing. It really is. And she does a very good job of it. And when you take the promo that she cut on Becky earlier in the night, it kind of gives it a little bit more juice. The fact that, you know, I like that Ronda made a reference to, I didn't change the thinking of fight like a girl so you can call yourself the man. Man, I'm just digging these fucking fire promos that these two are putting on each other. It's fucking great. It's so much fun because it feels real. It feels personal. It feels like something out of the Attitude Era. Now, I am not a guy who typically, you know, wants to go back to the Attitude Era days. I'm not that guy who's like, oh, the Attitude Era days were the greatest thing since sliced bread and how I miss those days so much. I wish they would come back on me and just radiate with her wondrousness. No, I don't care about that. You know, it doesn't really do much for me. The Attitude Era was fantastic. You know what I'm saying. But this felt like it was out of those days. The whole way that they're busting promos on each other. And then last night, the unintentional, I guess, nose being ripped off of Becky Lynch. Jesus Christ. If you watch the video that WWE has released on everything that happened last night, they do the black and white to cover up the blood. Look at Becky's right here. It looks like it's actually torn. The blood is so dark in this line. I'm not sure if that whole shit got torn, but Becky got fucked up last night, man. I don't know what happened. I didn't see who hit her, but man, Becky's nose is a goddamn blood faucet. It was ridiculous. And that last image of her standing with her arms outstretched in the crowd, soaking it in, that was incredible to watch. It was one of those things. Immediately for me, I thought of Austin. I did. I thought of Austin. I thought of all those times, those moments where the crowd was just in his fucking hand. And the fact that Becky Lynch did this on Raw with a face Raw champion that people do love. People absolutely love Ronda Rousey. But maybe not to the level that people may have thought. Because Becky is in this other stratosphere right now. And I'm starting to wonder if Becky might be the best thing in wrestling right now. Not best woman in wrestling, not best female superstar. No. I'm starting to question whether or not what Becky is doing is the best angle in wrestling. The only reason why I'm going to say no is because it's so short. It's so early. It's a small sample size. But here's the one thing that absolutely is a must. There's no question in my mind. If WWE does not have Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch as the main event of Survivor Series, something's wrong. Something's wrong. This is clearly the most over angle that they have. People are going to care more about this match than they will Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles. They're going to care more about it than anything else that is going on that night. And I know that they're going to want to go ahead and probably finish it with the Raw versus SmackDown men's. It's a mistake to do it. It needs to be Ronda and Becky. They've earned it. They need to be in that spotlight. You have to see what you have here. Ronda is just the fact that Ronda's even anywhere near her is incredible. So you got to let these two go, and you got to see what you have in Becky. Nikita Kek is not on board with this at all. He is just does not think that she's one of the best things in wrestling. I'm trying to search for other things that is good as her right now. The only other thing in all of WWE that is as good as her at this moment is Tommaso Ciampa. That's it. I can't. Maybe Elias. And I don't think so. And when you go outside of the WWE world, most of that shit doesn't even appeal to me. So I don't know. You know, I mean, it's really incredible to me to see how this is progressing. You got to let it go. You got to take the restraints off completely and just let these two continue to do what they're doing. I think with Becky's ability to be such an amazing wrestler and Ronda's ability to seem to learn everything really, really quickly, let these two go out there in the main event and do 25, 30 minutes. Let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. I'm excited for it. I really am. You know what else I'm excited for? The frame and thumbnail that we're rocking today. This stuff was supposed to be used last night. I modified Fake Ass Twat's wonderful thumbnail. Modified it just a little bit. And gave it a little Becky attitude over the top of it. But he did a very good job there. And, of course, we got the new Raw review frame. I was going to be bringing back the Raw review permanently, but I decided to wait a couple more weeks because I can't do it next week because I'm going to be traveling to Chicago. And then I don't know if I'll be able to do it the week after that because I'll be traveling to Germany. So, you know, I'm going to wait a couple more weeks and then figure out what I'm going to do with it. And then but still, you're going to be having it right here on the Wondrous Morning Slam. So don't worry. Give a little bit of love to GunCannon and Fake for the wondrous graphics work. I appreciate them so much. Let's look at the chat a little bit. Becky for Wrestler of the Year says Raging Max. Agreed, my friend. Nikita Kek says Tommaso. Yeah, I mean, I love what Tommaso's doing. Don't get me wrong, but that's the only person I could even put in her fucking category right now. Christopher, and from bits I've seen, she is good, but with the way WWE works, I can't see it being the me. Yeah. Raging Max, she's winning Wrestler of the Year for both genders. She's that freaking good. She is. And it's not even just about the matches. She's having great matches. It's her personality. And that's what's missing so much in wrestling. You know, Becky is great in the ring. She's very great in the ring. She is. She's not transformative in the ring. She's not Ric Flair. She's not Shawn Michaels. She's great. Don't get me wrong, but she's not that. The reason why it's working, and by the way, the last 2 years, Becky was having match, and nobody was fucking gravitating with her. Nobody was there because the persona, the character wasn't there. Character's there now. That character is fucking there, and it's special. I mean, when she came out last night, came down the ramp, and the entire women's locker room was standing there, and she was just walking up like she was just going to take out the entire squad on her own. That's what I'm loving about this character. That's what I'm missing. It felt Austin-esque. It felt Rock-esque. It felt Hunter-esque. It felt like these big transformative characters that just connect with fan bases, that connect with audiences. That it's typically about the whole fuck you type of attitude. But man, it's fun to watch right now. I'm absolutely loving it. She's killing it at the moment. And it's really got me juiced up. It's like after I decided not to do the Raw review last night, and then I watched the ending, I almost fucking got up and said, I got to go live. Because it felt that good. That ending felt like it was that good. It's like, we got to cover this now. Because that felt special. How many times do you have that anymore at wrestling? Where something just really grabs you and makes it feel special. You just don't have it, so... Let's see here, Makad. Do you see anyone that the fans will accept going over on Becky now? I don't. That's the only problem I have with her and the crowd. Now, I brought that up on Twitter, and I'm about to highlight that again in just a moment. Then we're going to move on to the actual Monday Night Raw review. See, man, Becky's making me want to start watching again just from the small bits I've seen. I highly recommend you do. She's the best at the roster mostly because how dead the main roster is. I don't know. I don't know about all that. But I think there's no other, I can't put anybody else in their category in the world, not just in WWE. I just can't. There's nobody else. But all right. That's a very good point that Makad made, and I brought this up on Twitter earlier. The only issue here with Becky is Ronda was the closest to her in popularity. You know, like that right there. I don't think there's anybody else. For the women, Ronda was the closest. And the crowd is not going to cheer Ronda with Becky's in the ring. Anyone standing next to Becky right now is not going to benefit from being in the ring with her. And that's the problem. And it's, it's more of a problem of today's era, and not just in wrestling, just how the fans try to control things. If they don't allow something to get over, eventually it will die out. And you can do that. You can sniff it. You can snuff it out. You can really suffocate the oxygen on somebody and not let that fire burn. And that's what I'm a little bit worried about. Ronda's still getting pretty good reactions. I'm not really worried about it too much with Ronda, but if Ronda's going to get booed, if she, and I believe when she beats Becky this Sunday at Survivor Series, what else is anybody else going to do when they stand in the ring with Becky Lynch? The thing that you're supposed to do as a champion, your role, the thing that you are able to do more than anything else is friggin' get people over. Your presence as champion, your matches are supposed to be of the caliber that just by having a rivalry with you, your opponent is better and elevated going forward. That may not be able to happen with Becky. It's going to be very difficult, especially with someone like Charlotte. If they want to continue to push the Charlotte thing, are they, with Ronda making a knock at Charlotte last night as well, it makes you wonder if this might just be a stepping stone to get to Charlotte and Ronda, which would be, by the way, a mistake and an unfortunate fucking circumstance, because this situation with Becky should not be used as a stepping stone. This shouldn't be to get to something else. This should be the something else. This should be what is propelling the entire storyline of both shows going forward. They need something that's going to integrate everything for when the Fox deal on SmackDown hits. Because a lot of people are starting to speculate now that the dual branding is going to once again start to merge and be less of two individual shows again. Becky is that unifier. Becky could be that device. She is right now, at least at the moment, Becky is that accepted. Becky is that transformative at the moment. Will that last? I don't know. I don't. Let's go back to the chat for a moment. Raging Max, forget Summer of Punk. It's all about the autumn of Becky. I agree with you there. Yeah, she gets a lot of pop. She really does, man. That's an overwhelming pop. That's like a tidal wave of emotion. Last night on Monday Night Raw, Ronda was probably not supposed to be getting overshadowed by Becky. I don't think that was the plan last night, but that's just that power of what Becky's doing. How can you not cheer for Becky when you see her standing with her arms fucking out like a goddamn warrior, blood just all over her face? I mean, my God, I saw Brock Lesnar in my head when I saw that. I saw big, larger than life character. I saw something that was just, she weighs like 47 pounds. She's so small too. And she's just there and she's just embracing it all. It was gargantuan. It was wonderful. It really was cool to see. And you don't see that a lot in wrestling anymore. At least you don't when you get older. I'm sure kids still see it all the time. Somebody who's in that mindset where they're not trying to fucking pick apart everything, they can still get those feelings. But as you get older, we can't feel that way anymore. It's why we're like heroin addicts. We're just chasing the dragon, man. Just give me something. Make me feel something. I'm dead inside. That's how wrestling fans are when you get older. Sorry. Spoiler. Suck it. Ben Young, just imagine if WWE didn't fuck Asuka over, the feud could have been on SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania, Becky versus Asuka. I'm not sure that that's not still a possibility. People still love Asuka, maybe not to the degree of the red hotness that she was coming out of NXT, but I think they can recapture some of that, and she might be something that could be a good challenge for Becky as well. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Nikki Keck, to the point, even if Toni Storm comes up to fight her, she'd get booed. Tony might be somebody who could rival Becky. It's possible. We'll see. That's going to be very interesting. Christopher, and going off topic a little bit, I did hear a rumor the other day about Conor McGregor wanting a piece of the WWE pie. There's always those rumors that come out. I don't know if there's much to it yet, but we'll see how it goes. Mikata, especially on a heel champ, no babyface can overcome her now. Yeah, I agree. Super Bears 81, the blood made that shot 100% cooler. 100% agree with that. Ben Young. Becky is over, but WWE will use her as a stepping stone for Charlotte. It's WWE. They can't help themselves. I hope that's not correct. I hope you're wrong in that, because that would be a mistake. It is certainly possible. It really is. All right, let's get to the actual review, and then we'll get up out of here. We'll see if there's any callers. Get into the Discord if you want to sound off on anything that happened in the wrestling world, MMA world, whatever. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and call and get into my Discord, and I'll get your call at the end of the show. Get in the waiting to call, and I'll be there in a little bit. And I think, oh, yes, hit that like button. What the fuck? Hit the like button. How are we not over 10 likes? Hit the like button. What's the matter with you people? Go ahead. Jesus Christ. All right. Raw overall. Last night, I didn't have a very good favor of Raw, mainly because I missed a little bit of a chunk, but mainly just the Natalya stuff, which was really not much to miss anyway. I was a little underwhelmed, and I rewatched it. And I was like, okay, wait a second. So these are the notes based off of that. Let's talk about everything that happened. The opening tag team battle royal. Braun comes out and shits on the entire tag team division, because once again, we all know that tag team division means absolutely fucking dick in WWE, and they proved it by having Braun just eat everyone's fucking souls and shit out their remnants. It was awful. He wants Corbin. Stephanie comes out looking like a snack and basically says, whatever you want, Braun. Take me, take the company. I'm your bitch, whatever. Take whatever you want, as long as we win at Survivor Series. You could have whatever you like. You could have what you want. You could go ahead and have another title shot. You could have Baron Corbin. You could eat his lunch. You could do whatever the fuck you want. Just get me that win. And Braun's like, yeah, we're getting married. So he seemed very excited about that, and he ended up agreeing. Ronda comes out. It's a really good opening. Ronda comes out. She's all fired up. She's going off on Becky, going crazy. Cuts a really nice promo in the ring. I loved it. She goes, and then she starts going after fucking Ronda a little bit, and then Baron Corbin comes out, and he's oh God, I'm so done with Corbin. Can we get a 1 in the chat if you're just over Baron Corbin at this point? Like, my God. I don't understand why they put him in this role to begin with, and I don't understand why they've continued to go with it. He has no good chemistry with anybody on the microphone. Like, even Stephanie, you know, like, they did the exact same angle last year with Kurt Angle. They did the exact same thing at the end of Raw with Steph screaming at Baron Corbin and all of that. It's the exact same thing that happened last year. And she was threatening Kurt Angle's job over it. Where the fuck is Baron Corbin? Get him out. It's time. Let's go. Jesus Christ, we're just over with this guy. We're just done. So, I don't know. I thought overall the opener was very good. I thought it was a pretty decent opening set. They're trying to go back to where they were with Braun and not where they brought Braun after they decided to start to go mega heel again after months of the over comedic babyface stuff. It's hard. I think a lot of people are starting to get a little bit confused. It's starting to feel very much like Big Show, which is a problem. Which is a big problem. You know, it's not a good thing. But hopefully they'll have the right, like, I think Corbin is going to be a very good sticking point for Braun, maybe a turning point, you know, where, yeah, Braun can really get a lot of all this bullshit out and just destroy Corbin. Maybe that'll help a lot of different things. I also think a feud with Bobby Lashley before another big WrestleMania or main event spot is in the works. Maybe you want to even have Bobby Lashley get past Braun Strowman so he could be the next to challenge Brock, whatever the case may be. That wouldn't be a terrible thing to put Braun through as well. Super Bears in the chat says, I could see him as an assistant, but not a GM. I think my big problem with any of these bureaucratic roles that they try to give, or these power, these authority roles that they give wrestlers, for Daniel Bryan, it works. For Paige, it works. For AJ Lee, even though she was a terrible GM, it works, at least from an optics standpoint. The problem with your GM can't be bigger than your roster. It's also the manager theory. You know, why someone like Titus O'Neil will never be a good manager is because he's bigger than his clients. You know, you can't get people over when you have authority over them, but you're bigger and kick their ass anyway. You know, it's like there's a problem with that. There's just psychologically, it doesn't track. That's why the Harvey Wimplemans of the world, that's why the Bobby the Brain Heenans of the world, they don't look like they can hurt anybody. You know, Captain Lou Albano, just a big fat guy. You know, it's just like Paul Heyman, the least threatening looking person on the fucking planet. You know what I mean? It's like there's a reason why these formulas work. It's because, you know, the optics of it, the psychology is, okay, this person is the hype man. Leo Rush, even though we know he's a badass and he's one of the most athletically gifted people in professional wrestling at the moment, because of his size and because of Bobby Lashley's size, you know what I mean? There's a connection there. It works. So it's just the way that I look at that. I've always had a problem with things. It drives me crazy. Tamina and Ember Moon. The match was fine. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, Tamina didn't do anything too egregious, which I'm always looking for Tamina because I think that she is just basically Frankenstein. She's just so mechanical, but she's getting better, and it's weird because of her age. Like, she's like 39 years old. She shouldn't be, like, the book should be written. You know, it should be closed. It should be on a shelf gathering dust. You know, but she has improved since she's returned. She has. And she has a decent little match with Ember Moon. I'm trying to figure out why Ember Moon is getting beat down 2 weeks in a row. I don't understand it. It's like, once again, NXT woman, let's just really make life difficult for her. I don't understand, but hey, that's just how they go. It's very strange. However, I'm loving Nia as a heel. I really am. And this is the way to go. And this type of heel in particular, that smile, that sly smile that she has all the time now, pretty cool. I'm liking where this is going with Nia Jax and Tamina. I think this is going to a good place, but we'll see. Next up, we get Dean Ambrose, the little segment with Seth and Dean and Corey. It was okay. Is anyone else not giving a fuck about these two as much as you kind of thought you would when this angle started a few weeks back? Like, a few weeks back, this seemed like this was going to be the emotional angle of the fall of the WrestleMania season. This was going to be the angle that was going to carry us into WrestleMania, go through Royal Rumble. Seth and Dean, they're going to tear each other apart. They're going to cut these promos. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be tangible. You can feel it. It's palpable, and it's not. I'm already bored of it. And I don't know why. Is it just me? Because I'm feeling like, man, Dean burned his Shield outfit. He said a whole bunch of confusing things that contradicted itself, and he's being aloof and crazy, and I don't know. I don't know, man. It just seems so fucking weird to me. I'm having such a hard time with this. It's just like, I know they're going to deliver when they actually fight. But how long until they get there? We're not going to get it this week with Survivor Series. Dean's going to continue to toy with Seth. So it's going to be TLC? I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. Christopher, I'm laughing to myself about that time Cole was setting that box comment. Oh, Jesus. Okay, thank you. I don't know. It was those amazing Dean promos the last few weeks. I don't know. Benjamin Klein. I think Ambrose is doing fine as a heel, but Rollins is not great as a face. I think Rollins is a great face, personally. I think Rollins is everything you want as a face. I prefer him as a face than a heel. Dean, I've always preferred as a heel. It's not the problem with the heel and face dynamic. I think it's just we've seen these guys too much. We've seen them as the Shield too much. We've seen them feud and war with each other too much. I think that's the issue. There's been too much starting and stopping. We've seen the roles reversed. I think right now we're just gassed. We're tired of it. When you see something as much as you've seen the Shield and you've seen Dean and Seth together as tag team champions as much as we have and as rivals as much as we have, I think it's just we're just overdone with it. So hopefully that's the case. And maybe with a little bit of space and a little bit of time, these two can get something that's really special. I don't know, but we'll see. Ben Young says it's boring because it's the same segment every week. Yeah. Have they given us a reason yet? No. I was like, does the reason even matter at this point? Who gives a fuck? They could just use, I was just biding my time to get revenge on Seth for when Seth fucked me over. You don't need to overthink this, but whatever. Okay. let's talk about something that I think a lot of people missed last night, but it was not lost on me. Did anybody else catch Drew McIntyre absolutely shitting in Dolph Ziggler's mouth last night? Did anybody else catch this? He flat out just took a gigantic brick of a dump right in Mr. Dolphy's mouth. All right, so what happens is Drew is out. Dolph is out there talking. Drew's talking about basically he's the next big thing, blah, blah, blah. That's the type of promo. Finn Balor comes out, who felt the wrath of McIntyre last week. And Drew's like, you're not on my level. I shouldn't have to waste my time with you. But I think this was something that was meant to be complimentary. I'm not sure. So he goes, I'll tell you what. I can't do Scottish. I can't do it. I'll tell you what. If you fight Dolph Ziggler, and if you could beat someone the caliber of him, then I will lower myself to be on your level. What? And Dolph was like Dolph, I don't know if Dolph saw that coming or if that was written in to kind of continue to fracture those two and eventually lead to their completely coming undone. I'm not sure, but Dolph looked like actually quizzled, fucking hornswoggled, flabbergasted. He looked absolutely just, what? Motherfucker, what? What'd you just say? It was great. It was a great moment. It was just like, holy fuck. Drew savage. Drew just took his dick and just plunged his throat with his cock. It was incredible. It was great. It was really, 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 really funny. But, I mean, really, aside from that, I mean, we get a match with Balor, and Balor continues to be the most unbalancedly booked wrestler in the world. It's like watching Michael J. Fox run the 100 meters, man. It's all over the fucking place. It's unbelievable. I just like Balor beats Dolph. I think once again with a roll up. It's so weird. Where are they going with Balor? They keep him right in the pocket to where he hasn't lost any crowd reaction. Crowd still loves him. Balor's still amazing and all of those wonderful things. But Jesus Christ, it's like he'll go on a little bit of a losing streak. They'll feed him to people, and then he'll come back and he starts winning again and getting these big victories. And then they continue to tout him as the first ever Universal Champion. And then they'll forget about him for like a month. It's so bizarre to me. It's like I have never seen this much of a bipolar booking. Maybe you can argue someone like fucking Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt, it wasn't unbalanced. It was just continue knocking at the same supernatural door and hoping anybody gave a flying fornication, which they simply don't. Balor's just wee. It's a fucking crazy roller coaster. It's the roller coaster that gets shut down because everybody throws up because it has 7,232 motherfucking drops in it. Up and down and up and down. Oh, my stomach. It's not good. All right. Once again, I think Rhonda gave Promo of the Year candidate last night. And she went after Becky in a few different ways. And that's why I liked it. She attacked her from a couple of different ways. She didn't just use the same cadence. She changed up her verbiage. She changed up her intensity at a few different times in the promo. She's really learning the art of the promo. She can still be a little bit too melodramatic, and I think that's where Rhonda's problem is. But it's really incredible to see her do what she's doing. Again, because of what Becky is doing. Because of the promo that Becky cut last week, this promo seems so much better. And maybe it is better than it actually was because it's because she's in that same stratosphere as Becky, which is very impressive considering how far Rhonda is into her career. It's pretty crazy. All right, moving on to Natalya and Ruby Riott. I missed it last night. I ended up recatching it up. Is it wrong of me? Am I a dick sandwich for not caring? For not giving a fuck even a little bit? Like, am I a bastard? Am I a stone rotten piece of garbage for not caring that Natalya is being emotionally tortured? I don't know why she's being tortured, but I don't care. I just like, no, I'm just done. Please stop. I don't care. And I don't know where this is going either. I don't know where it's going. The breaking of Natalya, I don't know where the payoff is. It's not like Natalya has a group of women that she knows that come in and help her. You know, Becky and Sasha, or Bayley and Sasha. No, they ain't gonna work. I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. Anyway. Oh, the tag team battle royal ended up happening. I guess they did it. They did it, and gloriously Gable won. Yay! Didn't really care. All right, Angle comes out, man. Excuse me. A Lesnar angle comes out. That's right. We got Lesnar's memento. And, you know, for the most part, it was the same promo that it always is. I did find it weird that WWE kind of wanted him to get cheered here. That the only way that I could think of is, I honestly don't know. It's like you bring out Jinder Mahal because you want Brock to get cheered. That's the only reason why you bring out Jinder, because Jinder's getting booed. Jinder could throw out fucking free porn DVDs and he's getting booed. Nobody cares about Jinder. He's going to get booed. So you bring him out so Brock gets cheered, but he's going into a match with AJ Styles. Why would you want him to get cheered? It's very bizarre. How are you booking Brock? So I'm choosing to ignore all of that. I'm choosing to ignore every little bit of that shit. So instead, I'm going to look at the two amazing moments that happened in the promo, because there were two amazing things that happened. One, everybody's already talking about, Google It Bitches, by Paul Heyman was incredible. Google It Bitches. If you did not get that Hotel California reference, then Google It Bitches. I'm not here to educate you. Quite literally one of the best heel lines said to an audience in the last 20 years, maybe ever. Google It Bitches is going to be iconic. It's Google It Bitches. I loved it. I just loved it. And the other one is, it's why every time Brock Lesnar opens his mouth, it's fucking gold. I mean, he shows in the UFC he can actually talk and cut a promo. I mean, he can do it. He did it with Daniel Cormier. He can do it. But when he opens his mouth on Raw television, on WWE television, and he starts saying things like, say something stupid, Paul. You know, like, he's always got weird stuff that he's talking about. And last night was no different. So let me set the table for you in case you didn't catch this part. So the modern day Maharaja starts talking about his mantra, to which Paul starts making fun of mantra. He starts saying it very weirdly, almost bordering on the racist. The way he's saying it, it's very, very weird. And then he asks Brock if Brock wants to hear Jinder Mahal's mantra. And Brock says, well, Paul, maybe you should listen to it because you need it because you're Jewish. What? 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 I've been trying to decipher what the fuck that meant all night. I'm like Googling it, bitch. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck that meant. Is that a slight against Jews? What was that? I was so confused. It was amazing, but I have no idea what it meant. Brock Lesnar is turning into the Ultimate Warrior before our fucking eyes, man. Because every time Brock opens his mouth, you're just, what? And he's not even like snorting. And we go to the mountains where the crystallized unicorns will take dumps on our bodies and give us the power of the warrior. He's not even doing that. He's just, yeah, you're right, Makati. He even said it full hillbilly like. He did. He was like full yokel. It's like, you're Jewish, you need this mantra. And I was just like, what? It was amazing. It was amazing. But whatever. Okay. Moving on from that. He destroys Jinder. He destroys the Bollywood boys, and nobody gave a fuck. It happened. No big deal. After that, Lashley gets the final spot on Team Raw, but the bigger story is that Elias is becoming something more. Elias, in a non-real big wrestling reaction town, garnered one of the biggest reactions of the night. I mean, just short of Becky Lynch, really, and held the crowd with a promo that went on quite a long time and finished it with a good minute and a half. That's the thing that's making me realize that Elias is for real, because Elias will talk, and he's still wonky with some lines. He doesn't deliver all of his lines perfectly cleanly, especially when he's getting an insult war. He seems like he's still a little bit tentative at times. But this is how I know that Elias is for real, because he'll go through those promos and he'll talk, and then at the end of every one of them, he will play the guitar for anywhere up to 2 minutes sometimes even more than that. And he doesn't play the guitar exceptionally well, but the crowd never turns on the guitar work. They don't boo it. They don't say boring. They cheer it. They cheer the guitar work. Do you not see what I'm saying here? They're cheering something that is typically something that does not get a lot of love for, except unless you're The Rock. Unless you're The Rock, you can sit out there with guitar. And with The Rock, he's putting funny lines in, which Elias doesn't do during that extra little 1.5 minute solo. I'm not talking about the songs that he does. I'm not talking about where he's busting a fucking load all over Baron Corbin or making... I'm not talking about the John Cena shtick. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he is just sitting there just trying to shred on the guitar and not doing a very good job of it. That's what I'm talking about. The fact that people are still into that is the most impressive thing. Elias is going to another level. Don't know where, but Elias is on his fucking way. It's clear at this point. It's not a fluke. It's not an overreaction by the crowds anymore. In Kansas City last night, I believe Kansas City or just Kansas, so it doesn't matter. It's the Midwest. Those type of reactions are reserved for the bigger coast cities or Chicago typically, And he got big reactions, and it was during that's just impressive to me. So maybe I'm wrong on it, but I see a lot of big things coming for Elias. And then Becky's a god. So let's finish where we started. The final angle with Becky Lynch doing what she did, taking out Ronda and then getting her nose shattered off her fucking face. It was incredible. It was an absolutely insane ending to Raw. It was special. It felt special. It felt like it meant more. I had a great time with that ending. And, for me, it also, what it did? It made the rest of the night feel a little bit better. Because what I tweeted last night was Becky and Ronda saved Raw. Because at the time when I watched it, I didn't really like Raw that much. But as I've gone back through it, and I took my notes and I rewatched it, and I had everything processing from with Becky and Ronda, I've softened on it. I really enjoyed Raw top to bottom a lot more than I gave it credit for last night. Not an exceptional show, even though there was exceptional moments. A solid 6.5. A solid 6.5. A very passable show, in my opinion. What is your guys' rating on Raw last night? Did you watch? If so, hit me in the comments section with a rating out of 10, where you put it, where you place it, what you thought of it. That's what I want to know. I didn't hate it that much. I really did. But all right, I'm not going to be taking calls. I was going to take calls, but I'm not going to, mainly because I got to go to the bathroom incredibly badly. Jesus Christ. Not a good situation. So I'm not going to take calls today. We're going to end it right about now. So 45-minute show is good Raw review for what it was. I do appreciate everybody being here. Hopefully you've had a good one today. I want you to give some love to GunCannon for the new frame. What do you think of the new frame? Do you like this? Is the Raw review frame? It's what we're going to use when we go back to doing the Raw reviews. Or if we do them like we're doing today on the Morning Slam, this is the graphic that we'll use. I did add a little Becky embellishment because I felt that it needed it, but I love this. I thought he did a great job. GunCannon killed it. Fake Ass Twat also did a great job on the thumbnail, which I Becky-ized because that was made hours before Raw started. So it's, you know, it's a very good thumbnail. But after what happened with Becky and Ronda, we needed more prominence of Becky, and that's why I put her over the overlay. But I enjoyed it. I really do appreciate everybody and the support. So give some love to GunCannon and Fake for me, please. Makatz has agreed. 6 to 7 out of 10. Yeah, that feels about right. It's a solid one, though. You know, it's a solid 6.5. Kyle Lorch, Dave, are you going live for TakeOver and Survivor Series? Yes, the plan is with TakeOver, I will be doing a live reaction. I'll be live the entire time for TakeOver. And for SmackDown, or excuse me, for Survivor Series, I won't be live for all our Survivor Series because with the pre-shows, it's 6 hours. So I'm just going to do a live review. I'll do a live review as soon as Survivor Series is over. I will be there right here, I should say, on this channel, going crazy for you. That's the plan. Bear, 6 out of 10. Becky is the next Punk. I don't even know if that's the best. I don't even know if that's doing justice to what Becky's doing. It feels even greater than that. There feels like there is a tidal wave swelling behind Becky and pushing forward. I guess because it's been so far removed for me for Punk, but now that I'm starting to like think back to the summer of Punk and everything, you know what? It's probably pretty appropriate. And Bear, I think you were the one who said that Becky was going to get attacked by, or was going to attack Ronda on Raw, and I think I said you were wrong on that. I thought they would go the opposite way, so good call on that. Carl G, Becky is already better than Punk. I'm kind of with Carl there. You know, it's just like, I can't say that career for career that Becky's better than Punk. I can't say that, but that's ridiculous. But what I can say, at this moment, what Becky is building, it feels like it could grow bigger than what Punk did. Does that make sense? Maybe that's even an overstatement. I don't know. But regardless, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you had a fantastic time hanging out with me this morning. I'm going to be on Twitch at some point. I'll be going live over there. We're going to continue playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and any other game that you might have for me. So make sure you get over there and hang out with me today. I don't know when. I'm hurting a little bit. I got to go to the bathroom, and I'm not feeling particularly well, so I'm going to go rest up for a little bit, and then. But I got nothing to do the rest of the day. We got really bad weather, so I'm just hanging out, and it might be a late stream today, a little bit later in the day, but it'll be a long one. So appreciate you guys being here. Awesome show, dude, says Carl G, and 100% agree with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys have yourselves a fantastic day. Give love to all those who deserve it, and hit that like button on the way out. Also, give a little bit of love to the people who support endlessly and tirelessly on Patreon. Thank you guys very much for all of that, and we'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks, and remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. And peace.